Hi everyone, it's a ticket to Christ. Welcome and thanks for tuning in again. We're still on the Overcoming Negative Emotion series, and we're looking at Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1 through 2. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. So what is standing out for you in this passage? For me, I'm seeing here, first thing, he's talking about us being surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses. And if he's referring to the chapter 11 before, which is the chapter that talked about all of the believers who had faith and the lives that they lived and what faith is. And he's saying that we have this example, sort of their life is like a witness and a testimony of who God is, that we have this large cloud of people who are a witness and testimony by how they lived in faith, as examples that we should also lay aside every weight. So what would be a weight for you right now? What is weighing you down emotionally? What's your emotional weight or burden? Are you depressed? Are you disappointed? Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling worried? Are you anxious? Afraid? Are you angry? Do you feel offended? Insecure? A sense of rejection? You feel just dis-ease, a sense of anxiety, uneasiness, or any of their cousins, the little subtle things, subtle versions of those, maybe a mixture of certain ones. All of those things are weights, right? And he's saying, let us lay aside every weight, and the sin which doth so easily beset us. And so he's seeing and understanding that the human condition, that we can be so easily straddled by sin, sinful thoughts, sinful attitudes. Sometimes you might not be doing some big sin, but the attitude and thought of your mind is sinful towards someone else, maybe a critical spirit, maybe looking at someone through worldly eyes, maybe having an attraction for the things of the world. All of these things can weigh you down because they can bring depression, they could bring discontent, all sorts of things can creep into you. And so he's saying, set aside the things that can bring a weight on you, right? Because you're living in the flesh. Then once you get into that side of yourself, then it's flesh, then it's weight, right? Because you should have died to self in the waters of baptism. When you got saved, you should have died to self so that you can live by the Spirit as a new creation that the Bible has promised that you are, right? That the Lord has said that you are. And to run with patience the race that is set before you. So all of us have a race that we need to run, our race. And he gives us how we need to run it with patience. We live in a society that is instant everything and with huge technological advances, whereby everything is at our fingertips. We live in a country whereby we can get anything anytime, at any time of the night. And if you live anywhere near to New York City, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You can get anything, anywhere, any time of the night. And the technological advances that are there make it easy. You don't even have to leave your house. And you can get it instantly. As a matter of fact, we live in such a society whereby if somebody drives up to a fast food and they take more than like 5 minutes, they're like, what's taking them so long? It's just, and so it is, I think that when people become Christians over in this side of the world, there is this expectation of instant change and instant this and instant that. But that's not how things work. We have to have patience, and we have to run our race with patience, including being patient with ourselves, including understanding that some things, sometimes, we go through seasons in our lives whereby things need to run their course. It's sort of like if those of you who are mothers, when you got pregnant with your child, you had to wait 9 months to meet that child. The child, it took time for that child to develop and grow until it was time. And it's the same way in different things in our life, or those of you who are gardeners. When you plant that seed, you got to water it, and it takes time for that seed to grow. And then it takes time for that plant to get strong enough to start bearing fruit, and then that fruit takes time to ripen, so everything takes a process. And so he's saying, run your life with patience, having patience as you run. And how to do it, he's telling us, looking unto Jesus. So you're fixing your eyes on Jesus, who is the author and finisher of your faith. So Jesus, what's an author? Someone who's writing something, right? Who's completing it. So Jesus is the one who's working in you to work out your salvation. And how he's showing us how Jesus did it. Jesus focused on the joy that was set before him. What was the joy? That he would be with the Father, right? So he endured the cross, right? Running his race, fixing his eyes beyond the cross, fixing his eyes on the joy before him, scorning the shame of the cross. And here he is, sitting down at the right hand of the throne of God, meeting that goal and accomplishing for us what we can't and couldn't possibly accomplish for ourselves. And so that's the model of how to overcome strongholds, fixing our eyes on Jesus, but also setting aside every weight and sin that we can get easily entangled in, and having the patience and endurance to run the race that we have to run. Don't look at other people's race and their journey. Everybody has what they need, right, to run. Each person's course is different. Don't measure yourself against other people. Don't look at them. It's not a relay like we're seeing you're running and you have to run like someone else. No, you're running the race that God set out for you to run. And he's given you the tools that you need to run it, and to run it in victory. And so just keep that at the back of your mind. This is a good scripture to memorize, especially the one which in verse 2, it's saying, looking at Jesus, the author and finisher of your faith, keeping that in your mind as an example of how to run your own race, and you will run your race in victory. I hope this gave you some food for thought, and that you're getting your own insights from it as well. Hope you're having a great day, beloved. Take care. Bye-bye.